I was afraid of getting a stiffy on the bus, let alone fighting necromorph monsters in outer space. In the summer of 2012, I got my very first laptop. I was beginning a course in graphic design and I needed something that not only could handle the physical load of Photoshop and Illustrator, but also the emotional load of getting rejected by girls on MSN, and also more than likely getting groomed on Habbo Hotel. Shout out if you remember MSN and Habbo Hotel. You old as fuck, just like me. But luckily enough, the juice inside of a computer that makes Photoshop and Illustrator run well is the exact same juice that makes video games run well. And so naturally, when I wasn't using the laptop for study, getting rejected by girls, or getting groomed online, I was absolutely thrashing it with Steam games. And one of those games was the original 2008 Dead Space. Now, being the babyface 16-year-old that I was back then, I played about half an hour of Dead Space and then never touched it again. Now, I'd like to think that that's because it was a little too difficult to play with a laptop keyboard and a $15 Microsoft Office mouse, but in reality, it was just because I was a pussy. I was afraid of getting a stiffy on the bus, let alone fighting necromorph monsters in outer space. Fast forward to 2023 and the release of the Dead Space remake. At this point, I'd played a few other survival horror type games like Alan Wake and The Evil Within. And so I was relatively confident in my ability to not absolutely shit myself while playing the game. Got him. Yeah, boy. I picked that up on the PS5 and I finished it in about 2 days. And after I beat the Dead Space remake, I was faced with an interesting dilemma. Do I play the sequel, Dead Space 2, one of the most highly regarded survival horror games of all time, or do I wait and see if they remake the second one as well? And I chose option 2 for 3 long years. And then one day, after watching one too many bullshit clickbait YouTube videos about how the remake's coming but it's been cancelled, and then actually looking it up and seeing that it was never a thing to begin with, I finally bit the bullet and downloaded the game. And so, welcome to episode 2 of the Backlog Battles with Dead Space 2. Naturally, the game didn't work whatsoever to begin with. Did it crash? But luckily for me, the fix was relatively simple, and all I did was, first of all, throw a tantrum. God damn. Fucking flicker and shit. And then I meddled around with a couple of patches, and eventually I got it at least to open, which was the first win.
You were telling me about your nightmares that you've been having, about your dead girlfriend.
There was still some issues with like shadows and stuttering and screen tearing and that kind of thing, but considering the game's over 15 years old, I'm not surprised. The atmosphere of Dead Space 2 was essentially everything that I remembered from the previous game. Oh, brother. And even though this game is pretty much the Cameron Diaz of the survival horror genre and hasn't been tinkered with or remastered or anything in over 10 years, it was still stunning. Smash. And boy, did it scare the shit out of me. Everyone ends up in the Scientology dungeon. Either way. I can't get in that way. Stop. Oh, fucking... Fuck. Repeatedly. Oh, fucking cunt! Eventually, after a little bit more tinkering and getting the game to run at like clean 4K 60 FPS, I could truly experience and appreciate the intricate details in the environment that the developers had crafted on their Windows Vista workstations all those years ago. From the environmental noises, the markings on the walls, the corpses, the flickering lights, the remnants of the community and people that used to call this place home. Thanks, buddy. To the constant darkness that shrouded the entire playing area. A lot of the time, it was only barely lit by the flashlight that had been gifted to me at the beginning of the game by some bloke who nearly headless nicked himself.
Isaac, we're all gonna burn for what we did to you.
This place was a nightmare in the best way possible. I worried a bit early on that it might be too dark for stream to enjoy. It's like really dark in here. Super duper dark. But the more I thought about it, the more I experienced it, the more I loved it. I could barely see shit, and the people watching shouldn't be able to see shit either. That's what made it so scary. And so very quickly, my mentality became, fuck you guys. If I'm scared, you're scared. There were plenty of jump scares as well, but even though I knew they were coming and I was constantly walking around expecting something to jump out at me, fall down from the ceiling. Oh, fucking hell! Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah! Or grab me from behind. What are you talking about? They still got me every single time, and I never got sick of it. When it came to guns, I definitely had my favorites, and some packed a punch more than others. Got a cup, it's styrofoam, it's non-biodegradable. And then also somewhere around 2015, they started giving people who bought the game just kind of like a full arsenal from the get-go. Now this is the thing. Do I play with tension, or do I give myself every gun ever? But even with access to that full arsenal, essentially from the start of the game, I still found myself being drawn to the trusty combo of stasis and then spamming the fuck out of the cutter. Another top tier favorite of mine was also the mine gun, which provided repeated entertainment in the form of shoot and then watch limbs go flying in every single direction imaginable. The story kept me relatively engaged throughout the entire experience, with some somewhat predictable twists early on.
Why should I trust you?
Because she's Australian.
Because I'm not the one shooting at you.
Just she's Australian. But the character ensemble as a whole definitely made the experience very enjoyable.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I was right here this morning with a crew of 30 people. I had to cut the arms and legs off my friends just to escape.
What do you think I had to do in the first game? And the story itself kept me relatively motivated to keep playing on and playing on and playing on just to see what was going to happen next. Missions never felt repetitive or like too much of a grind, and the pacing was very smooth as well. Like I barely noticed when chapters would officially actually change, and things kind of just felt like they were progressing very naturally as I moved throughout the game. I had a lot of fun as well with the enemy variety. Every chapter seemed to introduce some new cooked unit for me to unleash my weapons on. There were skinny necromorph fucks to fat necromorph fucks. Say cheese. It's a little suicide bomber baby necromorph fucks. Those are my personal favorite. And then there were these ones that for some reason I called dog ones that would run, hide, peek around corners, and then just fucking send it at you and shoulder charge you straight onto the floor. I'm not sure if it was just a difficulty thing or having access to some stronger guns at the start, but it did sometimes feel like a little bit of a battle between a newborn baby and a nuclear bomb. Sometimes it just felt really easy to take enemies down. It was always stressful, and I definitely failed a lot. Like I died quite a considerable amount in this game, but it never really felt like a challenge. But that's honestly more than likely a byproduct of the difficulty setting. I played on normal, sue me. My one big critique of the game, however, is definitely the final boss fight. After hours of survival horror gameplay, conserving ammo, meticulously aiming for limbs in order to slow down and defeat your enemies, and admittedly a few hours of not being so meticulous and precise. Think this is my first rodeo, you fucking idiot? You're all of a sudden thrust into a never-ending spam of kid necromorphs and an insta-kill fake wife ghost that, shock horror, wasn't actually trying to help you the whole time and is now trying to take you for everything in the divorce. If you're set up for the fight, then it's relatively easy, but if you're not set up and attempting this on a higher difficulty level, then you've got about as much chance of beating this as it has of beating the Predator allegations. I was about half set up, and when you're half set up and half stupid like I am, then you're fully fucked. I'm begging you to run. I'm actually on my knees. My fucking asshole is gaped, and I'm fucking begging you to run. Just use your legs.
What the actual
It just felt like a complete 180 from the rest of the game. It wasn't necessarily a bad boss fight, but it just didn't feel like it fit. It's like Shaquille O'Neal and Simone Biles. Just ain't going in, bro. But regardless of a frustrating finale, the overall experience was phenomenal. It's definitely remarkable how well Dead Space 2 has held up in the 15 years it's been since it got released. And I'm so glad that I finally got to experience every scream, squeak, squelch, and jump scare for myself. I haven't seen any... Are there any aliens in here? And if you haven't played Dead Space 2 or 1 or the remake before, I cannot recommend it enough. Go, 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 go. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Backlog Battles. This one was a lot of fun to make. If you want to watch me tackle some more of the games on my backlog, then make sure to follow me over on Twitch. It's free. You can subscribe here on YouTube. It's free. I really appreciate it. But for now, that's me done. Take it easy. Stay hydrated. Don't be a shit bloke. And I'll see you when you're looking at me. Catch you later.